Okay, cool. Well, first I wanted to start with some team shout outs. I got some from Leslie as well. I was so impressed. I'm like, Greg yesterday was at a fundraiser on course, and he was updating me on calls that he was having in between groups. And so I'm like, okay, you're out there fundraising and you're talking to tournaments. He possibly has one booked for this weekend and all these different ones. So I feel like I usually give him shout outs just for like his work ethic. But honestly, I'm like, it's just so nice to hear that somebody's just like on it all the time and he has a full-time job. So great job, Greg. And Noi, I started breaking down some numbers for one of our RVP calls recently. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, have had a huge weight lifted off of me personally in California and in Nevada. And so I wanted to give you a shout out for just taking on like that responsibility. I'm like, it's been amazing to be like, please help me, finding coverage for all these events, for rebooking them, for, helping the team as anything comes up and rescheduling hero days every single week, reconciling everything. So thank you and amazing job. And the Gallaghers, oh my gosh, I'm like hearing that you guys have raised between 3,000 to 6,000 at each event that you worked in the last 2 months. Holy moly, we need some tips. I'm like, if you guys have any like 30-second nuggets you want to throw out there, I'm like, I hope everybody's ears are open for this one.
You,
You guys are killing
you
it.
know what?
Oh,
For
oh, I think he's cutting out. Can you guys hear him?
He's muted. It's looked like he's muted. There he is. Oh wait, no, he's back.
I'm sorry. Could you hear me now?
Yep, we can hear you. Oh, now we can't. Let me see. Maybe I can unmute.
How about now?
Okay, now we can. Oh, not anymore.
Respond.
Dang it.
Can you unmute him, Audra?
Now it says unmute.
Use sign language.
Not even touching nothing. The mute's going on and off.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
How about now?
Yep, we can hear you. Oh, it says that you're unmuted. Maybe we'll have him put it in the team chat, or we'll try again later, because I'm sure all of us would love to hear some tips. But yeah, so great job, everybody. Keep up the hard work. And for team announcements, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear me over this, so we'll let it go and then I'll kick in some stuff. But so we are so excited. Anybody that wasn't able to join the nationwide call a couple weeks ago, we just wanted to reiterate that everybody in the company can be making money by helping us gain sponsors for our Hero Golf Classic in November. So we're looking for sponsors for Friday's golf tournament, the Friday night mixer, which is going to have like Glow Golf and either a DJ or a country artist. It's going to have fundraisers going on, all kinds of stuff outdoors, and then Saturday's golf tournament as well. So anybody within EFS will earn 5% from any monetary sponsorships. So we are hoping that everybody comes together. Hopefully you guys can make it out. And Leslie gave me an update that we are really, really close to being able to fully like launch it, get the website up and running so that everybody can have those sponsorship packets to even go out and share. But we're hoping that just by sharing that you guys can actually, make an income off of helping us get those sponsorships, that if you have any friends that own businesses, whether it's, a restaurant or, somebody high up in some big company or whatever it might be, just kind of getting in their ear now will be a really good thing, since we are only, a few months out at this point. So we're really excited. And if you have any questions, just let us know, but we'll have everything live and we'll make sure the entire team gets all of our packets that we put together for just tournament information if you guys want to come out for it. And then if you guys want those sponsorship packets as well.
Audra, have they decided on the discount for team members?
So I haven't heard like the actual hard number yet, but they did say that anybody in the company is going to have our exact like hard costs. So I'm really excited about that, and we want as many of you guys to be able to come out as possible. And then we would love to connect anybody too, in case anybody wants to like team up on like rooms or whatever it might be. Since we'll be blocking off several rooms at both TCI and at Journey.
Is the discount at Pechanga still available? The Indian discount or the Native American discount?
No, so we didn't reach out at all, honestly, because it was a lot easier having my sister and my brother-in-law actually living there to help like gather family members to check everybody in. Since they don't live there anymore, we will have like rooms blocked off, but to be honest, I'm like, they are a little pricey. So if anybody in the company wants to come together, or even on like Airbnbs or something, I'm sure Carter and I are going to do the same thing while we're out there for like that week or however many days. Okay, so moving on to our main training tonight, online fundraising. I was trying to break down, I'm like, okay, so they created flyers for us to send out, right? To any of our events that we worked with so far. So I asked Leslie to just kind of tweak those online fundraising flyers just a little bit so that it made more sense with me just blasting it out to all the events I've worked with so far. But then it got me thinking, honestly, with my team that, gosh, but how many people have we talked to that we just haven't been successful booking yet? And so there's so many different instances as to why we're not booking them. And a lot of times it's just that we're too last minute. You know, we came across their Facebook page too late, or they already said yes to having other fundraisers. And even though they love us, we'll probably have to get in next year. So this is what I came up with so far, but I did just want to kind of go back through because we do have a couple new team members that are on this call, but the other people that'll probably watch this as well in the future. So just kind of briefly going through what the heck, you know, an Elite Savings Pass even is. And essentially, you know, it's a free online fundraiser for any event, any group that's out there fundraising, a charity, etc. And the way to like break it down and keep it really simple is that Elite makes $20 off of a base donation. So we suggest to any organization or any person that we're talking to that they start at $40, but there's going to be options. So they'll send out, you know, a flyer or a link to their own fundraising site, which we'll create for them. And it'll say, you know, donate $40 to the football program, or it'll say, you know, 50, 75, and then it'll have an open donation. So they can type in or donate however much they want, which is amazing. And the way that I really like wrap my head around it is that it's really similar to like a GoFundMe. But anybody that's used a GoFundMe or has helped somebody fundraise through that knows that you're just getting on there, you're helping them fundraise for whatever's going on. But most of us didn't get anything in return, right? We're just kind of giving. Well, we now have the opportunity to give them this 1-year membership to our Elite Savings Pass. So I think it's a really cool way that, hey, a lot of them would probably want to donate to whatever this cause is anyway, no matter, you know, what they're fundraising for, but then they also just get a gift back, and it's a whole year membership. So like, for an example, what I'd want you guys to kind of like wrap your brains around is if somebody did do, you know, that open donation amount at like $200, Elite gets $20, and then that fundraising group gets $180. So what I don't want people thinking is, oh, but you guys take, you know, 50% of whatever you take in. No. We only take $20. And you guys can set it at any amount. Maybe their base donation is $50, you know, so no matter what, they're always making more than us. But I think it gets really cool when people do go in and they just do whatever dollar amount that they want. And then for you guys, you get paid your normal percentage at whatever level you're at within the company. So if you're a rep, you're going to make 15%, just like you normally would, you know, collecting donations out at a golf fundraiser. But I don't want anybody to get confused. It's off the 20 that goes to Elite. So we really want the charities to feel like, again, that like this is all upside for them. It doesn't cost them anything to get it going. And we just need some information from them, really. So what to send to past events? Because that's what I thought of first, right? I've been drafting different emails, and honestly, I'm going to keep it really simple. Thank them for including us in their tournament plans. And a lot of times whenever I'm reconciling with them now, I'm talking to them about our online fundraising anyway, just so that it makes it like that much smoother. But you want to like plant that seed that we can offer online fundraising for them at like a halfway point. So maybe this is their only fundraiser throughout the year, is their golf tournament normally. I've talked to other organizations where they had a different fundraiser every single month, and it's hard to keep thinking of, new things to do 12 times throughout the year. So you just want to bring it up that you can fundraise for them online, and all they need to do is just send us a little bit of information, which I'll cover in a second, and share it. And so for past events, especially, say they had 100 players at their golf tournament, or 120. Well, that's your market. So send it to all of them, thank them for coming out, however many months ago. And oh, by the way, we're still fundraising for this, charity or organization. You will get this awesome, gift if you want to donate again. And so it just drives them, to that website. They get the cool elite savings pass in return. But what I was also thinking of too is that really, I bet a lot of tournaments had a lot of people that wanted to go, but maybe that day didn't work out. So that person didn't sign up to play. So they probably have a lot more contacts than who just went to their tournament. But they could also contact all their sponsors. They could contact, or send this out to all of their volunteers. So it could end up actually being a lot bigger. And I think that like school organizations or, kids teams or leagues, this is going to be huge because a lot of kids are required to do some sort of online fundraiser or fundraiser in general. And they're required to get like 10 to 15 people to do something. So, if you're working with 50 kids and they all have to get 10 to 15 people, I'm like, that's a lot of people really fast. So essentially, what to send to missed events, I feel like, again, Greg, sorry to use you as an example again, but we both bring up all the time that, oh my gosh, I wish I would have called this tournament sooner. I wish I just would have seen this tournament sooner, so no matter what the case is, whether you reached out too late or they had too small an event or had too many on-course fundraisers already, I would just email, stating something along the lines of like, hey, we're sorry that we missed your golf fundraiser this year. But if you were looking for other ways to fundraise, we would love to help you, start an online fundraiser with our Elite Savings Pass. It's absolutely free. And then again, we just need a little bit of information to get it started. It's really simple. And then they just share it and it just takes off from there. And then, so that you guys probably already saw, but we have all those documents on the CRM too, and they're all geared towards, continue fundraising after their golf events. So this is what actually made me excited today. I'm like sitting there, I'm like, okay, so what's in it for me? Why would I want to like switch up what I'm already doing or, contacting tournaments, and why would I want to get outside of my comfort zone? And so first thing I thought of is, well, this can be a lot less work. All in all, you emailing your different, leads or past events should not take long. It's probably just copy and paste really, and you attach, the attachments that explain what an online fundraiser does. Then say you get on the phone with them, you talk to them, or you have to go to the board, and then you just have to gather that information from them. So it really should take about an hour or less collectively. It might take a few conversations, but it's not very much work. Honestly, it's a much larger reach, which was really big for me. I'm like, okay, depending on, the size of that event or how many sponsors they had or who's in like their database for contacts, this reach should be huge compared to whoever was actually at their event. It's more money for you. And honestly, I really think of this and what made me even want to do this initially was because of the solidified relationship, especially with those events that you didn't get into at first. So if they take a liking to this and they trust you enough to do an online fundraiser and get this going because it's free, why wouldn't they at least try? I just think there's no way they're not going to have you in your golf tournament plans after this. So going back to how you actually make money though. So say as an ATM, you're at 20% of whatever you fundraise. If a 100 player tournament emails all their elite savings passes, information out to their players, volunteers, sponsors, people who couldn't make it, etc., and say all they do is they capture 150 people to donate something, then that's $600 in your pocket, regardless of what that level was. And so for me, I'm like, okay, for an hour of work, and I think that 150 people is like a pretty safe number for a good sized tournament. That sounds great to me. So that kind of got me excited today initially, but play around with those numbers, that's what I was just kind of doing. I'm like, okay, so I have this many people, or if I talk to, this baseball team, what is their reach? How do I give that baseball program ideas, like requiring other kids to get 10 people to sign up or whatever it might be, just so that it keeps growing. So it's not just who's on like that team or just their parents or whatever it might be, but you guys will be excited. And when you realize how fast and easy it'll be to get it going, I think this will get going a lot faster for everybody. But what's in it for them? So for me, I was scared to even bring it up or to go to a meeting with anybody on my team or to join a call. And that's because I didn't know the breakdown. So again, for them, a lot of these are going to be the same. It's a lot less work than putting together this golf tournament. Most tournaments take like minimum 3 months, if not 6 to 9 months for like really good events. So it shouldn't take much work on their effort. Again, they have a much larger reach. They can reach out to all kinds of people, not just golf people. The amount of money that they could make from this is truly unlimited because of the open donation, option. But I think that honestly, them having like a shiny new way of fundraising that a lot of people haven't seen before, because people are pretty darn familiar with GoFundMe at this point, is going to be priceless for them. But again, running those same exact numbers, right? So say I put on a golf tournament and I had 100 players come out, but I captured, those same 150 people from my last example. I would at minimum fundraise $3,000. But honestly, it's probably going to be a lot more than that, because especially causes where people like it really like hits them here, I was just talking to an event about their breast cancer golf tournament coming up in October. A lot of people I feel like are going to see that link and they're going to donate much higher dollar amounts. So $3,000 would be minimum for those 150 people. Does anybody have any questions or like want to add anything at this point as I'm going?
So you're assuming that they're gonna donate $40 a person, is that correct?
Yeah, we recommend starting
That's
it
that's
at
the minimum
40.
amount.
Yeah, and they can do it at 30. I don't know why they would, but I think that 40 is like a really safe number. And then it'll have multiple options though, so it can only go up from there.
And what are we saying that the Elite Savings Pass is worth? What are we saying that's the value of it? What are we?
So I don't ever actually bring up like the value. I usually bring up like people on the whole, or like, what is it? And so I immediately go into, well, there's over 1.7 million offers in there nationwide from, businesses that all of us use all the time, so like Target down the street or Pep Boys or, the movie theaters that are close by. And then not only do you get travel discounts, but you get cashback rewards, and that's worldwide. And so I'm like, the amount of items that are included in this are insane, and discounts for golf as you start adding your hero courses in there too.
We don't say anything about the average savings per person or something like that. I'm just wondering. I mean, it's not just for the marketing value.
So I personally don't. It hasn't come up. But it says average savings is over 2,000 per year on the actual documents that we send out. So it's a 12-month membership, and then you save on 850,000 hotels internationally. But there's also like flights, there's rental cars, there's all kinds of stuff. You get cashback rewards within just a few days, which I've heard from, different people on Leslie's team. So.
Thank you. That's great. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Okay, So, Noelani and I were just talking because we got some like unfortunate news from a golf course that we work with all the time for their golf tournaments, the Hero Days. We love them at a local course in California, and somebody that plays there a lot that they're really connected with. A minor just found out that he has like some form of cancer. So they reached out to see if we would, help them fundraise in some way. And this was the first thing that came to mind that wasn't going to be as much work, honestly, putting together a golf tournament. So I'm like, hey, if you guys put one on, we want to be there. We'll do whatever you guys want. But right now we could start this instead of a GoFundMe. And so Norlani was like, well, what do I need again? And so then I thought, okay, to keep it quick and easy, you need some form of an agreement, just like most programs, right? So it'll work if you just have them, if you have like the email thread of you guys agreeing to like what the terms are. But if this is not already on the CRM, Miss Sarah Tate actually threw this together. So that's why her information's at the bottom. If this is not on the CRM, I will make sure it gets on the CRM within like the next day or so, but I'm going to send it out as an attachment with both like a PDF so you guys can see how it's supposed to look, but also the Word document for you to go in and edit yourself. But I don't want anybody to get hung up on an agreement because an emailed chain will work just as fine. Then you also need some sort of like web banner, or photo. The video about their campaign is optional. And so what I think of a lot of times is that most people have like a reel or something on like their Instagram pages or YouTube or whatever it might be, that could just be about their organization altogether. If they can put together a video about the campaign specifically, that'd be awesome. But I want them to get hung up on it or feel like they have to put in a lot of money for this video. And then outside of that, it's super simple, your logo, the description of like what they're fundraising for, and then some sort of title. Once you go on to the CRM, you upload all this information on the Jot form, then the link is live within 48 to 72 hours. So once we get all of that information, which again is not too much, logo, description, an optional video and a couple photos. Oh my gosh, I'm like, Trinity and Anne and their team, they're on it. They'll get it going and then they can blast it out. So the last step would really be to just share it at that point. Does anybody have any questions on this? I'm going to pull up the chat just in case. Okay. Well, at this point, I'd love to just open it up for questions in general. Really, I wanted to just hit home again how easy this is to fundraise. I personally am going to go back through all the events that I've been at this year, that I booked and physically been at. But I was just thinking about so many people on my team and how many events we still haven't gotten in, even though we're busy. And I would go back to absolutely everybody. And there's no reason, why they shouldn't do it because it's totally free for them. But if anybody is unsure of even, how the Elite Savings Pass works or like how to find something, I'm like, I'd love for you to bring it up. Do you have a template of what you send out to contacts from past attorneys? I don't have a template. I was just going to throw together something, thanking them for including us in their tournament plans and just kind of like plant that seed. But what I can do and what I was hoping to do is when we send out the training link from tonight's call, I'll attach that as well. So everybody has some sort of, easy template that they can just copy and paste because if you guys are like me, I love a quick, easy template always.
Yeah, I think that will be really helpful because a lot of times we get caught up in the words and you say things so simplistic that I love it. Thank you for your brain. I love it.
Yeah, no problem. I'll make sure that that's attached tonight for sure.
Audra, could I ask, how do people react when they say that the first $20 goes to EFS? What's the reaction to that? I mean, they think it's a lot? I mean, they think it's okay? I'm just curious.
So I'm the type, whenever I bring up like money in general, I usually bring up percentages. I usually bring it up and then I hit them with something like super positive. So a lot of times conversations don't happen to me that might happen to others, because I would say something along the lines of, so we recommend selling it for double of what our cost is. So Elite would be owed $20, but we suggest starting it at $40. But what's nice is there's different levels. So you can offer $50, $75, $100, whatever you want us to put in as those options. But there's going to be an open donation amount. So for example, if somebody came through and they wanted to donate $500 to your cause, Elite only keeps $20 and $480 stays with you. And so I feel like I put a focus on like how little we take, even though it's $20. And I know most people are going to do probably $40 at minimum, so I always just shift my conversation that way.
But we do all the work. We're setting up all the website and doing everything as far as that goes. I mean, that's the cost of doing business. I understand that, but so nothing negative anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So, but to be honest, I was like, I haven't talked to a ton of people. I talk to people on the golf course as I'm leaving. I've been on a few like 3-way calls with people, or like my reps, but I haven't only focused on this. So I'm interested to see like what different things come up. But I really think that if you presented it, hey, there's no downside, you might as well try it. It's not costing you something. It's not like you have to like cut us a check for something. You know what I mean? Then why wouldn't you at least try,
And a lot of these campaigns that are GoFundMe, they're not cheap.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty expensive. So a lot of times, the people that are getting the money are just grateful for it. So they don't really see the back end of how much it costs. So
yeah, exactly.
I mean, the idea that they're getting the Elite Savings Pass as well. I mean, that's a big bonus. I mean, otherwise, the people usually donate. I donate to all kinds of things. I don't get anything back at all.
Exactly.
Nothing. I get they send me a thank you card and then 5,000 new. Please help us again. You did so well. Please do it again. I get a lot of that, but nothing else. So it is what it is. I mean,
I gave into some fundraiser at Walmart of all places. I didn't even know you could advertise some sort of like charitable fundraiser at Walmart. And I was in like the back of the store and I was just like, oh, these young entrepreneurs. I'm like, sure, I'll sign up for $40 a month. And I don't even know honestly what my card is going to. I know I'm still paying $40 a month and it's because I just won't call and cancel it. So I'm like, I would much rather gotten a savings pass, or some sort of like gift back. That would be amazing. But honestly, I would love it. I'm like, I love short calls, but I really wanted to like break down these numbers for you guys. I hope that this helped. But I'm telling you, like, run some numbers and examples. And I wanted to at least bring up how to go back to all the events you guys have already worked for the year, or say in the last even 12 months, and then any of the events that you missed. But if you guys start countering in or factoring in all the other types of people or organizations and groups that would want to do this also, I'm like, you could make a killing. And you can do it at any time. You can do it while you're on the road, like I've been for the last 2 weeks. You can, do it from home. You can do it in between groups, Greg, while you're out on the golf course. I'm like, this will fit in anywhere because honestly, you're just copying, pasting and getting some quick information from people and it doesn't cost them anything. So, does anybody else have any other questions? If not,
as far as pitches go, does anybody feel confident about their pitch for the savings pass? I would love to hear like how you're pitching it.
I don't know if anybody really is pitching it quite yet. Has anybody had like success or like really like gone after the savings passes yet?
I have.
Oh yeah, please. I'm like, share with us some tips.
But it depends who I'm talking to on what kind of pitch it is. So I've got a number of coaches interested in it, but then they ask me if it's been approved by the school district. So But my pitch to like an organization I'm trying to get involved with, Elite Savings Pass, is basically we have the number one fundraising opportunity that nobody has seen in the country yet, that involves an app on your phone or computer that's good at 1.7 million locations across the country. And the best thing is, no matter where you're in the country, you put in your zip code and it populates all the discounts there. What better to have on your phone than air, hotel, rental cars, restaurants, and all the stores in the community that you're going to? With your permission, I'd like to send you the Elite Savings Platform deck, because it is 16 pages and I want you to be able to open the attachment. You know it's coming from a secure source, someone you just spoke to, and take a look at it, and I'll follow up with you tomorrow or at your convenience to help you sign up for this number one savings program in the nation at no cost to your organization on the front end, only on the back end. Would that be something I could do for you today? And then usually I get, sure, I'll take a look at it. And then that's how I'm getting a little traction. And yeah, I think this is an amazing app, first of all, and I think the potential is unlimited. And I know you pulled up the flyer that said average saving is $2,000 a year.
Yeah.
But there is a bubble inside one of the pages on the deck that says somebody that has saved over $50,000 for their business.
Wow.
So imagine if the HR people got a hold of these cards that were booking trips for 50 insurance salesmen a month, or whatever the IT, you know what I mean? Yeah.
And if anybody hasn't checked out the chat yet, I'm gonna ask Nina if she'll send me what she posted in the chat just in case. But she wrote in there exactly like what she sends out. She gives them an example to go check it out for themselves. That gives them more information in case that helps anybody too. I was trying to read really fast what Sarah Tate added in here too, about like our success rates, and telling them that there's a 70% renewal rate. So usually once somebody becomes a member, they don't want to lose their membership. So they have a lot of people renewing them, which I feel like is huge, you know, like 70%. Oh my gosh.
I've been trying to pitch it. I try to like incorporate it into the Cancun part of my pitch, where I'm saying, you know, I say I have 3 contests, 3 prizes for you. And then I go through the first 2, and then I go to the last one. I say the last contest is a trip for Cancun. And then I tell them about the $50 getting on the green, or the 100 flat donation to get them the trip no matter what. And then I say, and then there's one more way you can get it. And then I tell them about the you know, $10 or $20 a month, you know, monthly donation, and they get to pick between Cancun or Savings Pass and I just tell them, just remember though, I always go, you remember the entertainment books that you used to get from your kids? And they're like, oh yeah, everybody says, oh yeah. So I go, this is this one on steroids. It's 1.7 million merchants, you know, so you really, everything from airlines on down to Walmart. So is Walmart on there?
I'm like, let me check my deals right
Walmart.com.
now. Okay, that's good to know.
It is. Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
good. That's what I wanted to make sure.
I always say on the whole too, I'm so glad you brought that up, that this is like a Groupon on steroids. Like this is the ultimate Groupon you've ever come across. It's insane how many, you know, different businesses and everyday businesses a lot of us use. They're big names. They're not like, you know, a random restaurant or some online, you know, bakery or something you've never heard of. Like these are big names. 1.7 million merchants that's a lot.
Yeah, I just haven't gotten anybody to take the bait on that one. they're either just I always tell, I even preface it with, hey, if you don't have anything to put down now, you know, and you want the Cancun trip, you can always sign up for the either the $10 a month or $20 a month. And then I go, yeah, that's like a trip to like McDonald's or 7-Eleven, you know, it's like really not gonna make a big difference in your budget. So I go, but it's still gonna help our men and women. So
Yeah.
I still haven't got any bites on it though. That's why I was wanting to
honestly,
know
my
if
numbers are usually pretty even. But I think that's because I mainly have retirees out here. So they might not really want the Cancun trip where they're like, okay, like I'll save some money right now. Let's try the savings pass, you know, or somebody who already has like a really good timeshare. They don't need the trip to Cancun. So they do want the
Mhm.
savings pass, you know?
yeah, I just wondered if anybody was that because I wasn't getting bites, I was hoping someone else might be getting success with it, would share how they're
Mhm.
doing it.
Yeah. I'm like, thank you, John. Seriously.
Yeah.
I ask them sometimes where they like to shop because 99% of the time that store is on the app. And anybody that knows anything about IT, the amount of coding that went into that app is insane.
I wish I knew anything about coding. I'm learning that I should have done some sort of online class or course in college. But no, even Nina put in the chat too, you know, Disney's on there, Universal's on there. You know, a ton of entertainment places for families, which is huge, you know. And they're not like $10 off. I'm like, they're good savings, you know, $50 to $70 at some of them. So but yeah. Does anybody else have any other questions about like how you get paid or like how to share or anything like that? Okay. Well, I will make sure I get the rest of this information all put together from you guys. And Sarah, from the chat, I'm gonna see if I can get more testimonies from Anne and Trinity. In case that can help too whenever you guys are talking to any organizations that want to do a fundraiser. But happy sharing, everybody, and let us know if you guys need help with anything, really. Thank you guys so much for joining tonight.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Audra.
Audra.
You
All right,
take
good
care.
night, you guys.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye.